It's a flat. It's a flat. This guy got
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Utah Hockey Broadcast. I am Patrick McGann alongside my brand new partner, Jacob Suomi, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We'd like to welcome Jacob to the broadcast here tonight. He's joining the Utah Hockey team here for his first time. Welcome. Great to have you here. We're really happy to have you, Jacob.
Thank you, Patrick. Really looking to this game tonight between the Skating Utes and the Arizona Wildcats.
Yes, I actually probably should have got to that. Didn't mention that it's between Utah and Arizona this evening here. It's a WCHL conference game, Utah's first since last semester. They played San Diego State last weekend. That's a non-conference game, as San Diego State is currently an independent team in the ACHA M1 ranks. But it'll be Arizona wearing their road blue jerseys this evening against Utah wearing their home whites, as this rivalry has been kind of renewed. Utah and Arizona played each other a lot before Utah joined the conference, but since Utah joined the conference, these games have meant much more, and there's been a rivalry forming between these two very talented squads. Utah comes in third place. Coming in at third. They shoot, they score. Oh my goodness, right off the draw. It's Arminen, and he gets an easy one to go in against the Wildcats, and it's 1-0 Utah.
Incredible play from the Utes there right out of the gate. Gets the stop on the other end and comes back, just whips one in, and the Arizona goalie couldn't get to it.
Yeah, I don't think he was quite ready for it. It wasn't like it was a powerful shot from the point. It was just Arminen coming in, just figuring he put the puck on net. When you put the puck on net, good things happen. And just like that, within literally 16 seconds, Utah takes a 1-0 lead on home ice, which is huge against a talented squad like Arizona.
Something we saw last weekend in San Diego, though, Patrick. Utes scored 21 goals against San Diego State, and just here in the first minute, a goal already.
That's you'd like to see that. Like we were talking about before the game, excuse me, the ACHA rankings take into account goal differential. So for the Utah to put up 21 spot last weekend, that's huge for them, especially on the road. But again, against Arizona, getting one quick like this might prove to be a high-scoring game. As you know, we're not even a minute in, and we already have one goal in the contest. The puck's going to go all the way down the ice for an icing. And the faceoff will come down to the Utah zone.
Line change for Arizona, but already the Utes staying with that key group that got that first goal only 51 seconds in.
Doing a little bit of a longer change there are the Utes, and looks like they'll send in Langenbrunner to take the draw for Utah. But Arizona's going to win it pretty cleanly. Point-to-point pass that puck goes. Nice block from Ethan Light, who then hits his man hard against the boards there. It's dumped all the way out, chasing after it. It's going to be Arizona. Malko
there's an opening.
And here comes Utah, shot by Langenbrunner. Good save right there on the doorstep by Bivolcic. Goaltender there for University of Arizona. Jackson chasing this down. Logan Jackson, that is. Got Jackson brothers on this team. Givney tips the puck, but it's turned over. And now it'll be Timor. Over to Malko. Dumping that puck in is Fritz. And Landon Anderson out to play the puck.
Patrick, something we've seen early is Utah really in the attacking zone, while Arizona kind of fortunate not to be down by a couple more goals here.
Yeah, Utah's had a couple of great chances early on so far. And maybe the Wildcats coming all the way from Tucson have some bus legs. That's a pretty long drive. Got to go around the Grand Canyon to get here. That makes it even longer as they'll be blown off sides early on here in the second period.
Again, we go back to those 21 goals at San Diego State in just 2 games. Something really important for the Utes is just striking first, and here on home ice, quick one-up.
Absolutely, yeah, and like we said, Arizona, they're coming out for blood here. This is a big rivalry game. Last year, the last time these Wildcats played here in Salt Lake City, offsides again are the Wildcats, but the last time this team was here, they got swept by Utah in the opening weekend of the season, so that was a huge result for Utah. That kind of put them, in my opinion, that kind of put them on the map in the WCHL, saying we're here and we're one of the skilled teams that's going to be in the top 3. And Arizona, obviously, that leaves a sour taste in their mouth, and you bet you they're going to want to come back and prove themselves here in Salt Lake City. And I've heard before, just overhearing, down by the locker rooms when I have to go down there, teams don't like to come and play here. It's not a fun place to play, whether that's facilities or the ice or whatever it may be, the fans or the environment. But I've heard opposing players say they don't like playing here, and it's a tough place to play. You got a good crowd tonight so far. And
well, it's no doubt the Utes are one of the most physical teams in the league, and we can see that early with devastating hits on Arizona.
Bodies flying everywhere. I mean, within the first 10 seconds of the game, there was a big hit. As now here come the Wildcats. Brickley plays it back the opposite way for Utah. Nice pass across the zone. Landon Kusick picks it up. Skates it in and loses the puck there. Puck hits off a Wildcat stick, goes the full length. It'll be an icing. So Utah already went down to play at Arizona, and they split with them. Lost the first night 2-0, and then won the second night 4-3. So winning the season series against this team would prove very important. Utah in the top 3 in the WCHL, 3rd place so far. They have played more games than any other team in the league, so obviously less opportunity for points as the season goes along here, but obviously against this Arizona team, a big chance to pick up conference points. But University of Central Oklahoma looking like another very skilled team this year. It might win the league for a second year in a row. Here come the Wildcats. It's Walker.
Yeah, the Utes have played 5 more games than Arizona, which is a whopping number with an icing there. But 14 games for the Utes, 9 for Arizona.
Right.
That's something you don't really see, but the Utes, as in the standings, they've played the most out of anyone.
Right, and that makes sense, right? If you play more games, you should theoretically have more points. But, when Arizona catches up, you'd hope, if you're a Utah fan, you want a lot of those, 5 games in between you and them to be losses down the rest of the way. But you have a chance for 2 more this weekend to get back from them, and you never know. If you do what you did last year, that'd be a huge result.
Sure, and you said Central Oklahoma, 36 points, with the Utes 20. And that's a big jump from first to third.
Absolutely, yeah. And, the strategy as the season goes on, you want to win your conference and put a good showing in your conference. But, if you're realistic, you don't think you're going to probably get that auto bid from winning your conference. So what you'll have to do is just do good in the algorithm rankings and, score a lot of goals, win games. And Utah looking to make the ACHA National Tournament, the M1 level, for the first time in program history this year. Here comes Michael into the zone.
Keeping it in there for the Utes. Right in front.
Nice pass over to Jules Donovan, but hits his skate and goes into the far side corner. Chasing after it there was Overland for Arizona. He's still putting pressure on. Nice pass over to Light, but it was blocked.
This first 4.5 minutes or so, it seems like Arizona is really surviving instead of competing, as we see the Utes just constantly in Arizona's attacking zone.
It might be these bus legs for them coming out pretty slow as they try and set up shop, but going to have to break it out as there are a couple players offside. They skated in to the Utah zone. Pass over to the far side. Josephson is pinned up along the boards.
This is a nice controlled attack from Arizona as they just lost the handle, but they had possession for quite a long time there, the most we've seen so far in this game.
And now Landon Kusick on the counterattack. He skates in, but good defense there from Walker of Arizona. Anderson out to play it. It's still in Dix. Armitage calling for the puck. He's already got one goal tonight. The lone goal scorer.
The Utes might have thought that was going to be an icing, but the referee said, no, sir, and here they come back again.
Counterattack, here they come. They skated in. Arminen was there. Landa Kusick opts to let that one go for Dix, who plays it back in. It was a weak pass. Arizona takes it over. Shively plays it forward. Fritz goes all the way out. The icing against Utah as Timor was down there to chase it. And faceoff will come back and down into the Utah zone.
Both teams really not afraid to push the tempo. A lot of counterattacks, especially in these last couple minutes. We've seen counterattack by Utah, then by Arizona. Just not opportunities, not really getting to the net.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have any, if the scoreboard's correct, there's 0 shots in the game. That might be the first one right there, as there was a nice couple of shots there from what looked to be Jacob Kozden of Arizona. Or Matthew Marquis, excuse me. A couple of Tucson natives on this Arizona team. Hockey alive and well down there in the desert. Both the Arizona school, or the ASU and University of Arizona share rinks with professional hockey teams. Arizona, of course, with the Tucson Roadrunners down there at the Tucson Convention Center. And then Arizona State, unexpectedly, now hosting the Arizona Coyotes of the NHL in their brand new Mullet Arena. They were not expecting that. As I was told that the ACHA team was supposed to play there, and I think they do play there, ASU out of our ACHA division here. But Utah, when they were down there, they were back down at Oceanside. But kind of interesting that the Arizona Coyotes playing in a small college venue.
Yeah, I went down there to Phoenix, and that venue hosting the Arizona Coyotes only seats 5,000 people.
That's for NHL. That's nothing, right?
That's shocking.
Yeah, very shocking. It's supposedly a pretty cool environment, but you know, I bet ASU gets their brand new shiny rink, and then their big brother comes along and says, "I want to use that too," you know. So both teams, both Arizona teams, kind of unexpected hockey down there in the desert, but like I said, alive and well. It'll be the Wildcats now in possession as they try and break it out. It was Marquis who eventually got that out. Puck's turned over. It's Michael, a shot blocker save by the goaltender there, Bivolcic. Utah's able to dump it right back in, but they might change a couple forwards here. Langenbrunner hops off. Michael goes there to play the puck, but it'll skitter into the neutral zone.
There's a penalty.
Yeah, it's I don't know about that penalty call there, but Jesse Lowell, the longtime captain of this Arizona team, draws the penalty against Brickley. And he'll go for a slash.
And here's the opportunity Arizona's been looking for. You know, the Utes in control early, but here's a chance to, at least if you don't score, regain some momentum here. Control the offense in the zone as they lose the handle there.
Yeah, it's a
oh my goodness
loss. Here comes Utah, and Gephardt couldn't quite get a handle on it, but regardless, he's just going to send it back and try and burn some time on this kill for Utah. Still in Dix, he's going to send it all the way back down from where it came from. Chasing after that would be the Wildcats.
And, you know, some of you at home might be wondering, how in the world does Arizona have some hockey teams? Well, the Arizona State NCAA team is very good. They're competing with Big Ten teams like Michigan, Notre Dame.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I mean, there was actually rumors for a bit that they might actually join the Big Ten in hockey, I remember. But yes, it's a successful experiment down there. As they started at ACHA, they won that national championship, and then the year after went NCAA D1. And as you mentioned, Jacob, they're a very good NCAA team too. It's not like they joined the NCAA and they're not good because they're brand new, but they're good, and they have some NHL players. There's one to mention, I think that's doing pretty well up in the Seattle Kraken is their goalie. I think his name's Joey Dackworder. I think that's what his name is. I can't remember, but I know he's actually got some starts up there in Seattle, and I mean they've sent some guys to the show. I mean, hockey down there is alive and well. I mean, like I say, Coyotes they've gone through some stuff, playing at a cool arena now, might get a brand new arena in the future, and then obviously club hockey, as you see here, Arizona, they've been a very talented team in this conference. They've won it a couple of times. Always a tough team to play as the puck hits the Zamboni door there and kind of goes the opposite direction. So Arizona controls here in the Utah zone. 40 seconds remaining on their power play, but it's taken away by Michael Urtis, who will just peel back to waste some time. Smart play there by Urtis. Here comes Landon Kusick, stick handles it in, winds up a shot, nice block there. And Arizona's going to clear it all the way out.
This might be the final chance for Arizona in this power play.
Oh, they have a shot wide open there, and a good save by Anderson in the low slot. That's a big save, keeping his team in the lead.
Brickley ready to come back on in just 3 more seconds. Utes trying to kill that power play, and they will.
Yep, they will indeed. Full strength are the Utes, making Arizona 0 for 1 in the night on the power play.
They're going to do a platoon swap here.
Overland, forward pass into the zone. There's a shot, or a pass rather, that goes wide.
Here come the Utes on the counter.
It's Michael, skates in and has a shot, good save, trying to pick up his rebound, but he loses an edge. Falls down. Arizona trying to get the puck out of their own zone as there's a couple of bodies up along the boards there in the scrum. They eventually get the puck out. Litwin skates it in across the blue line, has a shot, and it's wide. Going to be kept in there by Slack. There's a shot, pad save, rebounds loose, but a good job by Ethan Light to get possession of the puck and get it out.
Litwin was ready to take on the 3 Utes there just by himself. Courageous from Litwin trying to get it done, and he did it. He did put a shot on goal there, but not enough.
You see a lot of nitty-gritty play, yeah, like smaller guys kind of jumping into the fray in this. And it, like I mentioned, it's very gritty, some of these games, especially when the game gets going and players are tired and they want to call and they don't get it, and someone touches someone and then fights break out. But it's gritty play, especially in the WCHL, which is actually one of the best conferences in the whole ACHA M1 level. Actually, they did, when ACHA releases their computer rankings, they also release the average ranking per conference, and regularly the WCHL is up there on top. So there's another scrum along the boards, but this time in the Utah zone. Arizona comes up with it, but nice poke check there from Gephardt to just get it loose, and he'll dump it in.
The Utes with an opportunity here.
Gibney just behind the goal, tries to get it to Gephardt, who was waiting. He fanned on the shot as the puck went the opposite direction. It's Walker now. Walker skates it in. Drops it off for Lowell. Captain of this Wildcat team, has been for the last couple of seasons.
Tangled up over there. And Arizona.
They might win possession.
Utes get control. Still loose, however, right now, and Arizona finally regains possession and pushes it.
Here they come into the zone. Walker has some space, leaves it. A shot blocked there by Gephardt. Nice job by him staying home on defense. It's a 3-on-2 if Utah hurries. It's Arminen, the goal scorer. Back over to Landon Kusick, who winds up just wide. He saw an open patch of net and just missed it wide. Now it's Brickley.
That one was inches there.
And yeah, we had a perfect angle up here. We could see that open patch of net, and like you say, Jacob, that, I mean, inches away. That's a great eyes there by Landon Kusick to see that. And I mean, he's one of the skilled players on this team. He's been playing on this team for a long time. Been one of the better players. He's got really nice hands. He's able to fire off good wrist shots and just missed one there. As here comes Arizona the opposite way, and it's Landon Kusick on the puck once again. He skates it across the red line and into the zone. Tries to play a pass to himself and doesn't quite work out, but Utah tries to keep it in. That also doesn't quite work out. Here come the Wildcats, and there's a high stick right to the face of Arminen, and Utah not too happy there, as looks like number 7 there for Arizona took a shot after the whistle, which unfortunately we don't have a number 7 listed on the ACHA roster. So can't quite call out his name. We apologize, but we're just using the rosters we're given here.
Yeah, that one clearly hit him right in the face and then took a shot, something the unwritten rules of hockey don't necessarily love.
Yep. Yeah, it's a clear high sticking call. I don't know if you can really complain about that for Arizona, but yeah, I mean, they're wearing cage helmets out there, but even when you get a stick to the face, it's surprising. And those helmets, they do obviously prevent you from getting hit right in the face with the stick, but it'll, make, obviously your helmet will shake. It's a loud noise, and it actually still hurts a little bit, wearing those helmets. So, that's why you see the reaction you saw from Jet Arminen as his face kind of went back, and he felt it for sure. That's a hockey stick, going pretty quickly right to your face, even though cage. So that'd be a pretty surprising. Just imagine just wearing like a cage helmet like that, just feeling a huge whack. It's not pleasant. But Utah to the power play for the first time. It's Jackson has a shot. It's deflected wide. And Arizona will try and play it out, but good job by Utah to keep it in, just barely. And this time it will skitter out, forcing Michael to send it back and Utah to regroup. Michael, backhand pass to Ethan Light, but it's picked off by the Wildcats, specifically Ziegler. It's dumped in for Landon Anderson to come out and play it for Utah.
That's going to be Nicholas Chioka in the box for Arizona with the penalty. The Utes with an opportunity to extend their lead, almost got it there.
Yeah, it's a good shot from Ethan Light, another one of the younger players on this team that has a real nice set of hands. I mean, you can see him dance around players and fire off quick wristers. The younger brother of longtime Utah hockey player Wyatt Light, who's unfortunately out with injury this season. He won't return. We give our best to Wyatt, though. He is a senior, but gave a lot of good years in the Utah hockey jersey. As now it's Landon Kusick, Utah with 1:05 to go on their man advantage. Dix at the point, winds one up. Nice block by Jesse Lowell. Langenbrunner sends it all the way down and deep into the zone, but Arizona's able to clear the ice.
That was a quick shot from Utah. I don't know if that was their game plan going into that power play as they lose possession eventually. But regaining it now with only 40 seconds remaining, seem to be forcing the issue here.
Landon Kusick, like you say, they might only have one more chance here on the power play to get set up and find the proper lane. And that's an errant pass that'll force Utah to regroup again with 30 to go on the power play. Langenbrunner skates it in. Urtis sends it around the boards to Landon Kusick here to the near side. Landon Kusick taking his time trying to find the lane. 18 to go on their power play. Urtis to Landon Kusick. Good defense there from Arizona, specifically Selman donning the A on his jersey here. Shows you why. Dumps it all the way down. And that will end the power play for Utah. Arizona successfully kills that first penalty.
Yeah, both teams with a penalty kill here. Something you'd like to see if you're both the coaches. And the Utes, opportunity to get out running here if he can get past. Slams into the boards. You love the physicality.
Big hit. Arizona responding to the bell here with Utah's physical play, but it'll be the Wildcats back the other way and into the Utah zone, trying to find a way to even this up. A huge collision in the corner there. As now it'll be Arminen. Skates in across blue line looking for Donovan. He finds him, and he kind of takes the shot on the base of his stick, and it's off the mark. Just over 5 minutes to be played in the first. There's a shot. Good save by Bivolcic. And Arizona gets it out. They skated all the way in, and it's taken away by Logan Jackson.
Tosses it away, however, and Arizona regains possession.
And those errant passes, the poor passing will come back to bite you. We've seen that before here. Teams will make you pay, and a team like Arizona, very skilled, they'll make you pay for an errant pass. They'll try and convert immediately. Utah luckily gets it back the other way, but got to be careful against a skilled team like these Wildcats. Utah keeps it in. Chasing after there is Timor. Now Shively. Forward pass to Josephson. Josephson skates it in. Drops it off. tried to send it back to Josephson, but kind of an awkward pass. It's now Michael across the blue line. Michael skates it in, sends it across the zone. A shot, good save, Bivolcic. Ethan Light had a chance to give the Utes a 2-goal lead. Arizona flips it out. And it really looks like Utah's on a power play, but they're not. They're just attacking very well here later on in the first period.
This is a common theme after the offsides. This is a common theme throughout this first period is Utah really dominating time of possession and showing off their aggressiveness. Arizona just seems a little flat-footed, as they say, in this first period.
Yeah, I agree. I think Utah looking like the better team so far tonight. Obviously, it's been a close game, and these margins are pretty thin here in the WCHL, but Utah is dictating play and on their home ice, which is what you like to see if you're head coach Morgan Feeney. I mean, that's what you should be doing, but against a skilled team like Arizona, it's a good sign. As Anderson covers that puck up, it'll force a face-off in Utah's zone. Utah has a pretty tough stretch this second semester here. They will play Central Oklahoma, and they will play UNLV again. Two teams that regularly go to the national tournament and regularly go into the Final Four. I mean, UCO, the runner-up in the league last year. Utah gets a chance against the league's best as they're out-of-division games this season. Were at Missouri State, then it'll be at home against UCO. Really good showing in Missouri State. Utah sweeps a Missouri State team that also makes a tournament, usually one of the better teams in the league. This year looking a little bit down, but that was a big win for them on the road. And then playing UCO at home, that's going to be the culmination of Utah coming to this M1 level. It's, welcome to the WCHL, welcome to the M1 level, and, trial by fire, basically.
Sure, and like you said, maybe the Utes not hitting their expectations so far, but coming back from the holidays, now is the time when you play the great teams to make great wins, build great momentum, and go to nationals.
Right, and the way Utah sets up its schedule every year is they purposely kind of, the football team has something to do with this because we play, in our parking lot, the same parking lot they use for tailgating, but they play very road-heavy schedules in the fall semester, and then on the home stretch, you have, mostly home games. I mean, they only have 2 road trips this semester. They already had one of them, so there's only one more left, which is really good for your team. You get to play at home and have that advantage. As they went to San Diego, and they still have to go to Eugene, Oregon, but other than that, that's it for road games this semester, and you really got to take advantage at home if you're looking to make these ACHA National Tournament playoffs, as you have a chance against Arizona, you have a chance against UNLV, you have a chance against UCO. A lot of good teams will come in here. It'll prove your worth. As an Arizona player collides to the boards there, and it looks like he awkwardly hit it as he's in some pain. It's Dylan Walker.
Yeah, he really crashed into that after winning possession in the Utes attacking zone, and he's still down by himself over there.
He was. You can tell he's in a lot of pain. And you know what? That's the worst part about hockey. He was, perfectly fine. He just loses an edge, but obviously you have the boards, and anytime you lose an edge right by the boards, it's scary because if you hit the boards in the wrong way like you have here, it can be a really, really terrible injury. And hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's not a terrible injury, but he looks like he is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, and the Utah medical staff making their way out towards Walker. But as we look towards this game, that lone goal in the first minute, still the only decider, and Bolchevich still kicking himself over it because Arizona has not capitalized on other chances.
Right. And you know what? That's, like you say, Bivolcic, it's you could, not that goals are solely ever one person's fault, but that's a puck he probably should have had. He didn't get it, and, could end up being the difference. And like we said, these margins in the WCHL pretty thin. And, right now Utah maintained that 1-goal lead, and you know what? That's, doesn't matter how you get it. You just get it if you're Utah and you're happy with the lead, and so.
And he's not enough of a competitor where he knows he should have had that.
Right.
And Arizona, 2:08 left in this first period, looking to maybe build some momentum as we go into the second. That doesn't necessarily mean score a goal.
Right.
But that means build some shots on goal and maybe hit someone to get the momentum going.
Get the fans into it more. The fans already kind of into it after that first goal. But, yeah, grab the momentum. That's very important in hockey. Just have that momentum and skate with it, especially, usually, that directly relates to time on attack in the other team's zone. If you have that momentum, you're skating the puck while you're dictating play. You're the one with the puck most of the time on possession. So grabbing momentum is important, as Walker was able to get up and kind of skate off with some help. We wish him the best. He's a native of Park Ridge, Illinois. Fellow Illinoisan. I'm also from Illinois, so hopefully he's okay. I guess there's some partial to where he's from, I guess. But in all seriousness, we wish all the best to Walker, and hopefully, hockey players are tough. We might see him again in this contest. So that puck, that stretch pass goes all the way down the ice, and they were looking for Riley McCauley there for Arizona.
Let's see what that stoppage of play does for both teams. That was not necessarily a significant period of time, but that was a good break in the action.
And Utah was skating well with the puck before then, right? So it's, you hear the saying, you don't want that period to end, or you don't want, something like that to happen. You want to keep it going and keep the juices flowing. And Utah in the Arizona zone there for a bit, so good sign from the Utes, as that'll go all the way down for Music to chase after it. Another Chicago area native. So that puck's played to the stick of Ethan Light. Erdis tries to backhand it to a player who was not there, and it'll go offside for Utah. Face-off will come out of the zone. Just over a minute to go in the first period. Not too many shots here. 4 for Utah, 5 for Arizona, as the scoreboard reads so far. Looks like Erdis will get a warning. And Utah will win the faceoff. Dumps it all the way in, and a nice glove save there by Bivolcic, and he'll opt to just cover it up and force the faceoff in his own zone.
Utes maybe just trying to send that puck down there, get some more constant action in there. Arizona looking a little sluggish in this first period. We'll be interested to see moving forward what they look like coming out of the break.
Yeah, sometimes, the altitude a little bit of a factor. You're obviously down in Tucson. It's a little bit lower than up here in Salt Lake, probably double the altitude. So bus legs as well, that is a thing. We joke about it. We talk about it on broadcast all the time. It's like a broadcaster's favorite thing to talk about sometimes, but it exists. There's a good shot on goal there, as there was a one-time play on the doorstep there of Bivolcic, but he makes a nice save.
Nice little flick there from the Utes, trying to get that one up. Just couldn't lift it far enough, and nice save from Arizona.
Very nice save there from Bivolcic, and keeping his team in it so far. Like you said, he makes that mistake early on, and he's probably determined to, make things better for his team. And if you're a goaltender, the one thing you got to know is you can't dwell on what happened. You're going to make mistakes. Everyone's human. You're imperfect, but not dwelling on that mistake and playing better. There's a rebound in front as Bivolcic makes a nice save, but to cap off that other point, just forget about it and play as best you can in the present, and rather than focusing on the past there if you're Bivolcic. And so far he's been playing pretty well since that mishap in the first minute of the game.
Yeah, he's really built some momentum himself. There are a few chances where Utah could have scored, but he's really bounced back nicely, as that one's going to exit the zone with only 10 seconds left.
Utah might have one more shot in them if they're quick. Landon Kusick tries to dump it in, but it's taken away by Arizona. As Landon Kusick tries to dump it in, he hits a teammate, and the horn will sound for the end of the first period. It was a pretty good first period of play, I'd say. Pretty close game after one period of play. What do you think both teams should be looking out for in the second period here, Jacob?
Well, felt like 3 minutes ago, we saw those shots on goal, and it was 6-5 in favor of Arizona. And we look now it's 11-7 in favor of Utah. That last few minutes, that last stretch for Utah, really important, just attacking into the zone. Let Bolchevich know we're right here and we're knocking on the door.
Right, absolutely. I agree. Capitalizing on that time on attack. Last game we see Utah in the M2 level take a lot of shots on goal and lose the game. They outshot. It's quality over quantity. You want to have good shots in the offensive zone. You want to control the puck, dictate play. I think that's what they should look to do in the second period and the third period moving on. But we'll take a break here for the first period of play. Thank you for tuning in for the first period of play. We still have 40 minutes to go here in Salt Lake City. Utah maintains a 1-0 lead against rival Arizona.
Fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm past driven. Look, we are not the same, this is not a game. I've been swerving through the city in and out of lanes. Yeah, cause if I see it, then I want it, then you better know I got it. Ain't no options, I'm about to do the damn thing. I'm an outlaw, you can never catch me. I'm in first place, you can never. These are the moments.
Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitors Center. Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitor Center. If you have any questions, please leave a message and we'll get back to you. Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitor Center. If you have any questions, please leave a message and we'll get back to you.
You ain't by that fast life. 100 on the dash with the cash light. You know I'm built for it. You know I'm built for it. You ain't gotta ask twice. You ain't by that fast life. 100 on the dash with the cash light. You ain't by that fast life. Big dog status with your stats like. You ain't by that fast life. Just know 100 duffels at the bag price.
Welcome to
You
Stunning
ain't by
Red
that
Rock.
fast. You know I'm. You know.
Welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Patrick McGann alongside my partner Jacob Suomi, and we're here in Salt Lake City bringing you coverage between the Skating Utes and the Wildcats of Arizona. It's been a good, pretty close match so far, Jacob. It's a one-goal lead for Utah after one period of play.
Definitely, and I think moving into this second period, some adjustments for both teams. Utah probably needs to convert a little bit more and execute once they get into the zone and finish and hit the back of the net. While Arizona, they did a nice job in the second half of that first period executing defensively, but they really need to get out and running on those counters.
If you can have a good counterattack game, I mean, that is a dangerous thing to have on the counterattack. I mean, you see it a lot in soccer, but hockey as well. If you're able to get down to the opposite side of the ice pretty quick and stun your opponent, it'll do wonders for your team. But we're underway in the second period. A big hit there from Cole Music on Sam Myers there.
We felt that one from up here.
Yeah, we quite literally. I mean, that was a big hit. Got a feel for those scoreboard operators down there on the ice side booth there. So now it's Landon Kusik across the blue line. He skates it in. And it's a nice save by Bivolcic.
Oh, we got some pushing and shoving over there by the Arizona goal.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty light so far. I mean, these two teams usually, I mean, I've seen some pretty, oh boy, referee's pushing this player back. But I mean, you'll see some pretty nasty stuff kind of come out of some of these scrums after some whistles.
Yeah, and that's Arminen for the Utes that was down there causing some problems. And that's part of hockey. That's the intimidating aspect that the Utes love to flex. Just, we're going to hit you, we're going to push you, and at the end of the game, we're going to win.
Yeah, just out-physical your opponent, out-will them. I mean, it's a skill that, you know, as a skilled hockey team, you want to have it, right? And it's a very physical league. There's a shot right off the draw, a very physical league, and if you can't keep up, you'll be left behind, that's for sure. And there's a good shot off the draw. Is there some talking after the whistle here as it looks like
a broken stick down there.
Yeah, something. Or you know what? I think his blade popped off.
Wow.
That'll happen every once in a while. Yeah, if he needs assistance to get off the ice, I think his blade has popped off his skate. Gonna go click it back in. Yeah, when you see that in the NHL, pretty funny sometimes. A player will like block a shot, will get, you know, a bunch of cheers and everyone's hyped up, and then he's like, wait, is he injured? No, his skate just, you know, he's basically, it looks like he's limping, but he can't skate because the literal blade is falling out of his skate.
Yeah, sometimes on those powerful shots, you just get the puck right at the blade, and you see the guy limping, and you're going, oh, what's going on with him? And then
Right.
he's walking towards the bench there without a blade.
And it looks like there's going to be a whistle here. Delayed penalty. Take a look and see the referee's signal. But it looks like it's going to be against Utah. I didn't quite see the signal there.
It's going to be Ethan Light for the Utes. 2 minutes in the box.
Another chance for Arizona to get one back.
We saw 2 penalty kills in that first period. Arizona looking to tie this one up early so they don't really have to deal with that pressure to come back late in the third period.
Yeah, getting one here for Arizona would really settle them into this game. Plenty of hockey left. They have a shot in front. Good save by Anderson. Chioka chasing this one down for Arizona. Sends it all the way down the other way off the stick of Brody Selman, but it will go for an icing.
When you're a man up, you really don't want to be forcing an icing. You want to pass it to someone. Sometimes you see the NHL or the NCAA or even here, you want to control that possession in your attacking zone and just try and find the best shot. But that's a miscue from Arizona to send it down and not have anyone receive it.
And right, that it seems like an obvious statement, but it actually is a problem that teams will run into. Now Utah has a chance to get a shot on goal, and you never. That's how most shorthanded goals come about. Is you ice the puck accidentally, or just off of a lack of skill, and then it leads to a shorthanded goal. So that's a great point to bring up because it seems like obviously don't do that, but it is a problem. And Arizona gets lucky there. Shouldn't say lucky, but they get away with Utah not getting a shot on goal after that icing call. And they'll control. It's Sam Myers across the blue line.
The Utes are doing a really nice job with defensively right in front of the goal. Arizona wants to send that puck right in the middle across different part of the zones. Oh.
And they score a shot from the point from the stick of Nicholas Chioka. Evens the game at 1.
Chioka with that penalty earlier redeems himself here in the second period, taking advantage of the penalty.
They find a wide open Chioka at the point. Utah was letting him have that shot. Kind of similar to the situation where, if there's not a good three-point shooter, you let the guy kind of have his space at the three-point line of basketball. Here, Utah wasn't too worried about Chioka, but he's able to get that wrist shot through a lot of traffic to even the game at 1.
Now, Patrick, this will be interesting what each team does adjusting. Will Arizona just continue to press like they are right now?
You can see it, yeah. Look at some speed. They come into the zone. That was Litwin who skated it in. Arizona now has possession in front. They have a chance, but it's deflected. And it looks like the net might have popped off just ever so slightly. So we'll get a whistle. But we're now tied at 1. And Arizona grabs a little bit of momentum with that goal. Looks like we have Tyler Shetland taking the draw there for Arizona and winning it. Shetland on the far side corner trying to win the puck. Swooping in was Sandoval to help out and win possession there for the Wildcats.
First 3 minutes, we've seen Arizona with a bit similar dominance that the Utes had in that first period.
Yeah, I was just about to mention something like that. I mean, this team is looking completely different after that break, and I'm thinking that might have been the head coach, Chad Berman, coming in and maybe getting a little.
Oh!
And they score. It's landed Kuzik. It goes in, and Utah quickly gets one back to take a 1-goal lead.
Patrick, we talked about what are these teams going to do after that Arizona goal. The Utes didn't seem to have as much possession so far, but they strike, and just like that, they're up 1.
And just as we're talking about how Arizona was dominating play as they actually were, Utah's able to quickly go down and get a goal back. It's Che Landekusic. And that's a really big goal to get back for your team. It kind of just erases what Arizona just did. And Utah getting the fans into it. It's loud in here with that 1-goal lead.
What do they call that, Patrick? The announcers, Jinx?
We do a lot up here, more than you would think, I guess, right? Happens a lot. But Utah trying to get Arizona back out of their zone, but almost like the goal didn't even happen. Arizona comes all the way back down, but there's a slashing call against Dylan Dix.
Yeah, the captain. You could see that one just from behind. Puts the stick right on his back and pushes, and it was pretty clear from up here.
Dylan Dix, he's the captain of this team, and he's a great leader. I think it's very fitting that he dons the C on his jersey. But I will say, from his years playing hockey here at the U, he does commit a lot of penalties, and he's probably, I gotta say, out of all the teams in our conference, he might be one of the leading captains in penalty minutes. He does go to the box a lot, but either way, doesn't matter who it is. Arizona has a 2-minute power play to try and get this goal that they just gave up back.
Certainly an eventful first 4.5 minutes of this second period. Arizona, let's see if Utah gives that point shot now after that first goal.
Right, you might want to be a little bit more aggressive on your penalty kill here, on your box setup. Try and take a look at the strategy Utah opts to go with. They're going to send one chaser. It's Gephardt. And it'll be Sam Myers skating it in, dropping off there for Brody Selman. But Utah's able to dump it all the way out.
Yeah, that was a miscue there from Selman. Trying to get it across the ice, just couldn't get a handle on it properly, and the Utes send it down.
Here comes Arizona once again. They're going to try and set up shop in the Utah zone. They haven't really had extended zone time on this power play, as 45 seconds have already expired. Wildcats control. It's Lowell. Point pass up to Chioka. Timor dumps it in. Selman turns it over, but he'll get the puck back as Jackson dumped it right into the hands there of Selman. Chioka wide open at the point, but Utah able to dump it all the way out. Yeah, you see Utah, they're kind of overcommitting to the corner. You pointed out, Chioka was wide open there at the point. If that puck shoots out to the point, not only is he going to take the shot at the point, but I think he dances in and makes a move and has his shot. Got to be careful of where you commit your players. Here comes Arizona. It's Shetland once again. Overland at the point. It's taken away. Chioka, 25 seconds to go on the power play for U of A.
Big whiff there from Arizona.
They out-hustle the icing call, though. It's Shetland who will skate with it, brings it up to the point.
Look how much higher the Utes are after that goal on that point.
And you see it there. They take the puck away as they were playing a lot higher. Here's Landon Kusik has a shot. Good save by Bivolcic, and that will be it. Dix out of the box. Utah back to full strength.
Big kill from the Utes. They give up momentum early with that Arizona goal, grab it right back, and then that penalty, a little deflating. But once you get that penalty kill, you're re-energized, you're regrouped. It'll be interesting to see if the Utes maybe take that momentum and bring it to the back of the net.
Yeah, it's a big killer for Utes, like you say, and like the momentum for Utah as they skated in with the 3-on-2 potentially. They have a shot. It's just wide, hits the glass, but it's whacked out of the area by John Shively.
Still right in there.
But Arizona, Matthew Marquis. Nice pass from the stick of Noonan to Langenbrunner, but Langenbrunner couldn't quite handle it. Noonan to his defensive line mate Brickley, who eventually dumps it in. Icing waved off. Dix will chase after it.
Big hit there from Dix.
Dix, one of the bigger players on the ice. He loves to throw his body around, and whoa, that's a puck that'll deflect up and out of play, and that puck would have been all the way up here if that netting was there, which is funny that I mentioned that because this netting is brand new. This is the first game that, at least I've seen it. Last semester, this netting wasn't up, so it's a new safety feature of the rink, and we apologize if it takes away from the camera quality of the broadcast, but there's a high stick, and the whistle will blow. Face-off will go in the Arizona zone, I believe, as it was an Arizona high stick.
Music around the center line, harassing some of those Arizona players, taunting with them, knowing I'll find you later.
I'm sure, yeah, there's a lot of chatter that goes on in these games. Where the Arizona State Sun Devils play, Oceanside Ice Arena, it's a very, very small venue. I mean, the press box is basically over the ice itself, and traveling to those games, you'll hear a lot of that chatter. Up here, you can't really hear it. We're a little bit further away, but some of the visiting rinks, when you're close to the action, you hear a lot of the language that goes between some of these players. As there's a penalty, it'll be a hook.
That's on Lowell, too.
And there was a massive hit after the whistle. Massive hit after the whistle by Arizona. I doubt it will get penalized, but there was already a penalty, a hooking penalty. I'm not sure who it was against, though.
Looks like it was on 15 of Arizona. He's going into the wrong door there.
Yep.
That's Sam Myers.
So that's probably the initial hook. They're going to box up a Ute here as well. It'll be, Eric Gibney, and now another.
That's Myers and Lowell in there.
Another Arizona player, yeah, Jesse Lowell, the captain for Arizona, taking a penalty. Looks like after this is all said and done, Utah will probably have a power play. The initial penalty was a hook against Arizona, I believe, and Gibney and Lowell are probably going for offsetting minors. Referee talking to players in the Arizona box.
Looks like neither of them are prepared to get up and go back onto the ice. It looks like this might be a 5-on-3 situation for Utah. And they're both out there, but
looks like it might be a. So it'll be a 5-on-4. So I believe it'll be 10-minute penalties for fighting is what I think the penalties will be, because those penalties don't show up on the scoreboard and they don't show up on the ice. Those players just have to sit for 10 minutes. So it'll just be a 5-on-4 power play for Utah, which is still big for them. So Landon Kusik has the puck. Excuse me, that was Langenbrunner. Now it's Landon Kusik over to Dix, who lines up a shot that was tipped and then goes up and out of play.
nice play there from the Utes, trying to get that sneaky backdoor shot there, but just couldn't get the correct handle on it. But something different we've seen, the Utes, when they have that power play, they're in control, right? We saw that for the mere 15 seconds they had it in the attacking zone. But let's see here if the Utes are in control or if they try and maybe force a shot. It's so critical to win these faceoffs, though.
That's an interesting faceoff right there. We'll talk about it in a second. He scores! Landon Kusik gives Utah a 2-goal lead. What a shot from the stick of Landon Kusik. And that's a massive goal for Utah, giving them a little bit of insurance. It's a 3-1 lead just about midway through the second period.
Really important. You know, you saw Arizona seem to win that face-off, but the extra hustle from Utah got it back to Landon Kusik, and he just ripped one bottom left corner, 3-1 Utes.
And why I mentioned that was an interesting face-off. The face-off taker for Arizona was across the hash that you're not supposed to cross. Erdis for Utah pointed that out. Referee didn't do anything. Then Erdis kind of overcommits and gets called for a face-off violation. So, you know, maybe a little bit of an inconsistency there from the officiating staff, but it looks to not even have mattered as Utah got on the board regardless. As you said, Arizona seemed to have won the face-off, but you know, part of taking face-offs is when you win it, you have to win it back to a teammate, or else the other team will crash in that face-off taker, and you see it right there. And Utah gets a very important 2-goal lead.
Arizona back to full strength after the Utes goal, but we still have Sam Myers in the penalty box, like you said, Patrick, for that fighting timeout time, as you say.
Yes, yeah, those players, it basically is. That's a great way of describing it. It basically is timeout. It doesn't count against your team. The only way it counts against your team is you have a player that could be skilled that can't play for 10 minutes. But it doesn't physically take a man off the ice. As now it's Jackson over to Landon Kusick, skates it across the blue line. He has some room, dancing in, has a shot.
Still in there.
Still in the high slot, a shot good. Block there from Jesse Lowell. Sacrifices his body. There's a hooking call.
Looks like it might be on Landenbrunner, but we'll see.
Oh boy, it's against Arizona. Utah back to the power play.
Very interesting call there. It seems like an Arizona player went down, but instead the call goes against them.
Tyler Shetland to the box for U of A, and Utah gets a chance to make a 3-goal lead here. Make it a 3-goal lead here. Utah wins the draw off the tie-up. It's Dix, sends it down low to Michael, who has a shot. It's deflected, puck still bouncing in, but Volcic able to cover it up. And Utah will set up. They win the draw. It's Michael to Ethan Light. Michael back up to Ethan Light. Arminen. Not a good pass there as it hits the skate of Connor Ziegler.
As you might be able to see, there's a Ute in the penalty box. Eric Caboni, Patrick, what might that mean, although the Utes are at full strength?
I think he also might be in there for a fighting penalty. I think they got two. They got an Arizona player and a Utah player for fighting after the whistle, even though there was a massive hit on a Utah player.
It's almost like a double technical.
Yes, yeah. Two players got to go. One for Utah, one for Arizona. And there's another penalty. There was a big hit on Arminen, I believe. There's a cross-checking penalty as Arizona once again going to the box, it looks like. The fighting penalties are over.
It's Will Josephson for Arizona heading to the box. And this is not something you want to see if you're the Arizona head coach. This is just constant. And you could see that first penalty, still 1:08 remaining, and now you tack on 2 minutes from this point. So there's going to be a point where there's going to be 5-on-3 and then 5-on-4 and then full strength.
Right.
But this is an incredible opportunity for Utah.
And when you get 5-on-3s, it's usually not for 1 minute and 8 seconds. It's usually for about, 20 seconds. But getting 1 minute and 8 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey for Utah, that's a big, like you say, that's huge for Utah. And referee's talking to Morgan Feeney, not sure why. I mean, his team's in a pretty good spot right now.
We look at both benches, just how they seem. Arizona looks a little deflated. They don't look like they're still in this game, while Utah, they look ready to explode.
Langenbrunner to Dix, one-time shot. Good save by Volcic. It was still loose, and Utah picks it up. Cross-ice pass off the mark, and the net comes off. It's Mooring. Like you say, I think, Jacob, this Arizona team, like you say, they're deflated and they're getting frustrated, so they're taking bad penalties. I think that might be part of it as well, because you talk about it a lot. It's easy to get frustrated, and you'll see players take it out, and it'll be penalties. And right now, Arizona kind of just getting outwilled by the Utes, and it's frustrating for them. And like you say, they're playing deflated right now, and you could definitely tell from up here. Dix over to Landon Kusick. Dix at the point, fakes a shot over to Langenbrunner. Wind up, good save by the pad of Volcic.
The slap shot, just incredible power as they're trying to get back to Dix, hovering right by that Utah logo, ready to fire one in again.
He's got quite the slap shot. As he wrists one, it's deflected wide. 20 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Langenbrunner a shot, it's wide.
Tyler Shetland of Arizona ready to storm out of that box.
Shot blocked by defender. The puck still loose. Good blocker save, what it looked like from Pavelcic. Dix has it. There's a shot, and it's wide. One player out of the box for Arizona. One-timer. It's blocked by a Utah player, and Arizona successfully clears the zone.
Nice job from Arizona, at least killing that first part of that penalty. There were some chances the Utes could have hit the back of the net, but Arizona survives round one.
Basically weathering the storm. I mean, Utah was, it was an onslaught of shots and chances there. They finally clear the zone when they get that extra man back, but Utah's still in the power play for 20 seconds. Anderson out to play it. They might have one more rush if they're able to hurry. Jackson peels back.
Looks like they're not trying to necessarily push the tempo with only 6 seconds left. Although here we go, right here.
Landon Kusick, they just kind of found their lane. Ethan Light is shot, it's wide. And now Josephson's out of the box. He gets the puck right away. It's a 3-on-2 for Arizona. Here they come into the zone. A shot, they score!
Oh my goodness. Wow.
What a shot from the stick of Dominic Sandoval. And talk about the right place at the right time. It was Will Josephson who came right out of the box. The puck went right to his stick, which contributed to a 3-on-2 for Arizona, and they cash it in. It's 3-2, Utah still leading.
That is incredible luck for Arizona, for Josephson to find the puck right there on the run, finding his teammates and finishing. Arizona, what seemed like a mere 2 minutes ago, they were deflated and unenergized, and here we go, 3-2, back in it, just like that.
I mean, what a great sequence of events there for Arizona. And I mean, Josephson comes right out of the box. There were only 2 Utes back. It would have been a 2-on-2 had the penalty not ended right then and there. But Josephson comes out, makes it a 3-on-2. They're able to find the man they want. And Sandoval winds up a wrister top shelf. And Arizona's only chasing one just like that. And like you say, I mean, you go from potentially having a 3-goal lead, and now you only lead by, what, 1 goal with 7:51 to go in the second period. I mean, it's a good call.
That is incredible from Arizona to get back in it. First to kill the first penalty, 5-on-3, then kill the next one, 5-on-4 to regroup the team, and then seconds later, you're back within 1, and Utah might be a little high energized here, trying to get their goal back.
And as Jacob mentioned after one of the goals in the first period, it's like, how do you respond, right? How are these teams going to respond? Arizona grabs a lot of momentum with that goal. It quieted the place down a little bit. Although Utah maintains a lead, you know, the response is important here from the Utes. You can't let it get to you. You just got to take it as, all right, you know what? We give one up, back to the drawing board. Let's get one more back here. Oh, and
big slip.
Marquila lost an edge there, and Utah was able to get possession and then dump it in. Seven minutes to go in the second period of play. It's Kenyon Carter. That puck won't tip a stick, so it will go for icing. Carter asking for a tip, but I didn't hear any stick contact from up here, so it's a good call. Icing it is against the Utes.
Arizona with a line change coming in. Just seems like they're trying to get fresh legs out there. Like you said earlier, that's a long drive from Tucson.
Yep. And
maybe some tired players. I think it's so crucial to have those fresh legs come in and be able to compete with the Utah speed.
Yep, and on an icing call, when the team that ices the puck can't make a change, so might as well get fresh legs out there and force Utah to play with some tired guys.
Utes win the face-off, though.
It's a big face-off win, and you got a lot of tired guys out there. You might just want to dump and change, as you see right there.
Perfect call.
And now here comes Sam Myers chasing after it with Kenyon Carter. The whistle blows, and that might be an icing call.
Looks like it is, yeah.
It surprises me.
Sam Myers, name we've called time and time again, unhappy with that call.
He is.
Patrick, as we look towards those shots on goal, Utah with 20, Arizona with 12, 1 goal difference. Does it kind of seem like Arizona's maybe a little bit lucky with the Utes not maybe executing as well?
They shoot, they score. Oh my goodness. What a couple of moves by Ethan Light. He just danced around the Arizona defense, and Utah gets a very important goal back. Wow. Oh my goodness. What a display of hands from Ethan Light. The young gun showing off his skill. Wow.
Patrick, take back everything I've said. Utes execute that one right off the puck there. Nice finish.
But to your question though, I think Utah's outplaying Arizona as we've seen. We've seen a pretty good second period here from the Wildcats, but I think they do have quality shots. I think it's 12 shots for Arizona that are more quality than maybe Utah's are, right? I mean, you have 21 shots now. Obviously, Utah leads, but Arizona's taking their time to find their lanes and their shooting lanes. I think those 12 shots on goal are a testament to them maybe not shooting the puck when they know it's just going to be a garbage shot.
Yeah, and that's a big uplifter for Utah to grab another goal. Definitely a higher scoring period than the first period. Maybe just try to get a feel for each team and the pace that tonight's going to be.
Absolutely, and Utah grabbing a lot of momentum and getting this place back into it. It was loud after that goal. There's a nice shot from the stick.
Oh, the Utes got a counter.
And here comes Utah, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Arizona skating back a shot, and it's deflected wide.
Carter's going to grab it, still in the zone.
He has a nice shot. That's really smart by Carter to just throw that puck on net. Like I said, maybe sometimes it's a garbage shot. You have the strategy of, find the lane and get the quality shot, or just throw anything you can on net and see what happens after that. Arizona's offside, so Utah's going to have to force them to reset. That pass is picked off by Hull. And here come the Wildcats. It's Malko, then picked off by Gibney. Stretch pass landed. Kuzik was in the zone, dances around Hull, but left the puck behind him after a good poke check.
I've heard the phrase, there's no, big hit there.
Looks to be clean. Nothing from the officiating staff. 2-on-1 for Arizona. They shoot. Good save. Anderson. Oh, my goodness. Anderson basically tackles number 22, Connor Ziegler, after he was looking to run right into him. Hopefully Anderson's okay, because Ziegler was coming in with a lot of speed. He did not care. He was just going to throw his body on top of Anderson, and Anderson not afraid to basically tackle him after the play.
It looked like Ziegler, they had the 2-on-1, and it looks like, maybe if you're a goalie, you're thinking he's going to give it up and the other guy's easy shot. Well, Ziegler was thinking almost reverse psychology, right? I'm going to shoot it, and you're not going to expect it, but instead he couldn't stop soon enough, and he just runs right into the Utes goalie.
And you know what? There's going to be a penalty here against Ziegler, and it's going to be interference, maybe specifically goaltender interference. That's a good call. I mean, he was running right into him with no, he made zero attempt to get out of the way. That's the definition of goaltender interference. Now, Captain Jesse Lowell's upset because Anderson did retaliate. I'm actually very surprised Utah did not get called for a penalty on that. We have seen Anderson take penalties before. He is pretty aggressive in the crease. But I'm very, very surprised that Utah was not called for like a retaliation penalty. Utah gets away with one here, and they're going to have a power play once again.
Yeah, there's almost a goalie bias in hockey, right? With
Absolutely.
The referees, you don't touch them. Same with quarterbacks. We've seen in football as of late. With the NFL, you just don't touch them.
That's a perfect analogy. I mean, that is basically, it's the exact same situation in both sports. The referees will protect the goalie 99% of the time. You see it there. But, we've seen Anderson retaliate before and get called for some penalties. I am very surprised he was not called for that. I think Utah gets away with one, but they do protect the goalie and call the goaltender interference. That's a good call. Regardless, Utah on the power play, 30 seconds have expired as they try to take a 3-goal lead, as they did on one of the last power plays they had when they had that 5-on-3, then the 5-on-4. Jackson at the point. Nice no-look backhand pass to Light.
Utes really in control in this possession, right? Finding that good shot.
There's Jackson. He has a shot. Nice block and a nice clearance there by Captain Jesse Lowell. He's showing you why he's the man. And
Oh,
that's
my
a
goodness.
bad pass from Anderson. It's a turnover. Lowell 2-on-1 for Arizona. They have a play in front. Oh, my goodness. They mess it up. That should have been a goal for Arizona. And Anderson is very lucky that Arizona did not execute on that 2-on-1 because he made a very bad pass that was turned over to Captain Jesse Lowell.
Well, Anderson saw that Arizona, after they cleared it, they were switching lines. And he said, not on my watch. He wants to put it back right in the zone and get Arizona off guard. But
Right.
instead, he passed it right towards Arizona. They had the opportunity. They just couldn't convert.
Right, yeah. I mean, that was a 2-on-1, and there was that one last pass. When you have the 2-on-1, you just kind of got to go tic-tac-toe. Don't take that extra pass. Don't get cute. Arizona doesn't execute there, and that could be the difference in a close game. As there's a
it's
play
still
in
out
front.
there.
Oh, my goodness. Pavolic couldn't see where the puck was, and Utah couldn't tuck it home in the empty net. Ziegler out of the box. Wildcats back to full strength, but that puck will go for an icing as he's out of the box.
Yeah, I think Pavolic thought he had it in his glove, but instead we see it just rolling out there. But Arizona lucky that that didn't end poorly.
Yes, yeah, just kind of like Utah was lucky it didn't end out successful for Arizona on their last chance. Both teams getting a little bit lucky there. But it'll be Donovan taking the draw for Utah, but it's won by Sandoval, who scored the last goal for the Wildcats. Point pass to Music, has a shot, and it's saved by Pavolic.
That's a long-range shot. Not sure if that shot is supposed to be, I'm going for a goal, right? It's supposed to be, my guys are down there.
Right.
If that goes off a blocker, they're right there and finishing.
Right. Crash the net philosophy, and Utah has played like that tonight in some ways, but you know, throw the shot. If you have a shooting lane, take it. Now there's different philosophies, right? Like you can purposely
Big
take a
hit.
shot and redirect it or go for a tip. But in that case, you know, there's an open shooting lane, so you take it and you hope your guys are there to crash the rebound there and crash the net and get a goal.
Right, like I was saying before the Utah goal caused pandemonium, there's really no bad shot in hockey, right? Because when you got a long-range shot, if you got your guy right in front of the goalie can't see the puck. And when you tip it, that's lethal.
Right. Right. Screening the goalie is the name of the game. Quite literally, you'll have a forward down there just making sure he can't see and trying to get that tip-in goal. As here come the Wildcats. They skated in with a lot of speed, but Anderson makes a nice save.
.230 left in this energetic second period. Above the Arizona goalie, just some students going in on Bolchevich.
Yeah, they're saying his first name, Nolan. I've been hearing them just chant out Nolan, Nolan, you know, trying to get in his head. And it's not like the NHL rinks where it's kind of permanent seating in this place. I bet you they'll follow him over to the other side for next period. So here come the Wildcats. They dump it all the way in. Jackson. Nice pass over to Michael. He's got a man on his back, though. It's Myers. Oh, big hit on Ethan Light there. Langenbrunner. Pass across his own. Wow, I'm surprised it got there to Music at the point.
Surprised Music kept that in the zone. If that goes past that blue line,
Got to reset.
sure.
Ethan Light trying to dance around this player here. Marquis. Passes over to Dix. It was deflected and he couldn't quite handle it, so Marquis is able to get the puck out. Myers chases after Music there, and now Selman on Dylan Dix's back there trying to win the puck. Just over a minute to be played. In a game where Utah now leads by 2. A lot of goals here in this second period, as Fisher has to go all the way back and chase after an errant pass.
Yeah, that was a big whiff from Fisher, because if he keeps that in the zone, Arizona still right in their attacking zone, but instead they have to chase it down and whip it back in.
So face-off will be in the Utah zone here. For Arizona, there's still plenty of hockey left. You still have 20 minutes next period to get back into this game and get 2. We'll see if head coach Chad Berman for Arizona is able to kind of light a fire under his guys like he did. I mean, like Jacob mentioned, I mean, coming into the second period, Arizona, I mean, they were playing with some fire and some tempo. They were dictating play for a big portion of the beginning of the second period. And you know, it's interesting to see how they adjust to this 2-goal deficit on the road.
You know, Arizona looked good to start the second period, but those penalties just killed every bit of momentum that they had.
It did, and they took a lot of them too, and that's going to be probably, you know, Chad Berman's going to probably tell his guys, you know, we got to stop taking dumb penalties and hitting guys after the whistle and hooking guys, you know. These are preventable penalties, and
Ooh,
huge hit. Oh, my goodness.
Arminen just let it go. Oh, big miss there from Utah.
And the whistle's going to blow as some bodies are piled up along the boards. We can't quite see.
Looks like a Ute down over there.
I was too busy kind of cringing because Urtis hit the boards pretty hard after the shot, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
man, I hope he's okay. And then there was something going on over here. There is a penalty.
Back again in the box.
Slashing against Arizona, and then Arminen will go as well.
That's Chioka for Arizona. So this penalty for both teams will carry over into the third period, which will be an interesting story for the final piece of our evening.
Right. I mean, 4-on-4 hockey on an Olympic-sized ice sheet, there is more ice to skate with and, you know, find your lane and really find your shot. But that's kind of, you know, something you can talk about, right? Like, you come in, if you're Arizona or even like Oregon or San Diego State. Oh, it looks like number 7 there, he's walking to the tunnel.
Yeah, Chioka. He was our first penalizer today, but I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he kind of walks off. They asked him if he needed a trainer. I'm not sure if he's hurt or not. I don't know if he was tossed from the game. But you got to have someone serving the penalty technically, but I guess not.
You know, Patrick, he might just be going to, because we'll reach the end of the period here, but that's unique for sure.
Technically, I mean, I think the rule is you have to have someone serving the penalty. So I guess that, I don't know, you are right. I mean, basically the end of the period, he's probably just going to the locker room. But regardless, we have a very interesting 20 minutes ahead of us, I think, between these two teams.
Yeah, the Utes, both teams really found some success, but Arizona punished themselves too much with those penalties. And, you know, it was 3-1 Utah, then 3-2, and then Utah striking back again 4-2. We'll see what adjustments are made again. You know, will we see less Arizona penalties, but does that impact physicality?
Right.
So we'll have to see after this 15-minute break for the next 20.
Right. We have 4-on-4 hockey to start the third period of play between both these two teams. We take one last break. We have 20 more minutes left to be played here in Salt Lake City between Arizona and Utah. We'll be back with more hockey. Don't touch that remote. It's Utah 4, Arizona 2.
Welcome to the Rocky Mountains.
Welcome to open trails and new vistas.
Welcome to stunning Red Rock.
Welcome to the greatest snow on earth.
Welcome to the Rocky Mountains.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Patrick McGann alongside my partner Jacob Suomi, and we're bringing you the last period of coverage between Utah and Arizona. It's been a good game so far, Utah maintaining a 2-goal lead, but Arizona, they're still right there with the Utes. They can put a good effort forth this period and tie the game up. Very possible.
Sure, and how did we get here, right? We got that energetic second period. Arizona, way too many penalties. Way too many penalties that led to Utah goals. And Utah, not too many errors and, right out of the gate, pushing the tempo, but it's just about closing, right? You got to close, and you got to finish this third period and get out of here with the win.
Right, and you say it's not necessarily like Utah is just completely outplaying Arizona. It's just they took advantage of the mistakes Arizona made. They, let's cash in on the power play, and that's the difference so far tonight. I mean, Utah really just coming in and taking advantage of Arizona, just taking some not smart penalties. You see a lot of post-whistle stuff, and Utah sometimes is, in the same boat tonight. It's good to see, if you're a Utah fan, that, we're not going to engage in any of that post-whistle shenanigans. We're just going to play our game and, thoroughly beat you up and down the ice and outskate you and use that home ice to our advantage. But regardless, about a minute's been played here. We're playing 4-on-4 hockey for the next 50 seconds. So we started the period with 4-on-4.
Right, and you have Chioka in the box for Arizona and Armanen, in the box for Utah. Still 30 seconds left. Utah with a run out here.
Yeah, here comes Light. He makes a nice move, but it's just going to go straight into the corner. He's going to try and fend off that defender there from Arizona, but ends up just going out of the zone. Dylan Dix hot, and he'll direct it back over to Music. Langerbrunner, backhand pass to Music. He skates it in. Nice poke check from the stick of Sandoval. And both players out of the box here for the offsetting penalties. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Now here come the Wildcats. Malko a shot. Saw that corner glove side, but just missed. It's going to be Hull taken away, and puck hits Urtis there in the face mask. Arizona takes it over. One-time pass.
Oh.
Wow, what a save by Anderson on the doorstep there.
Yeah, Malko couldn't get it. That shot a little bit too much towards the center of the goal there. You want to hit that right near the bottom corner, as that should have been towards the bottom left corner, but he hit it right towards that pad of Anderson, and you got to be better for that.
That's a good call because, that puck hit Anderson square in his pad, almost like he was aiming for it. And, maybe if you take that puck over, like you say, Jacob, that could be a goal for your team. Whistle blows, though. Another penalty.
Should be a penalty on Arizona's Hull, number 13. And here we go again.
Oh, my goodness. We'll have to take a look at this stat sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ninth penalty of the night for Arizona. While Utah's only been to the box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
We've seen Arizona's captain Lowell pleading to these referees all night. But these referees, you got 9 penalties. It's not necessarily on the referees at that point.
No,
it's a discipline.
That's a very good point. I mean, at that point, it's like, what do you tell, Captain Lowell? What do you tell him? You just say, hey, man, at this point, your record kind of speaks for itself. Your record of penalties on the night, and just staying out of the box has been a problem for this Arizona team tonight. There was a bouncing puck in front that the Volcic was just barely able to get to. But Arizona not coming out of the gate here like they did in the second period, right? Remember you mentioning that, they came out with fire. They looked like the better team. Like you said, they looked like Utah in the first period. And, this period, it's like, they come out with the 4-on-4, and now you go to the box and you just keep on digging deeper. And at some point, it's going to be hard to fill that in.
Yeah, especially when you're down by 2 goals in this third period. You got a lot of work to do, and it doesn't help when you got a man in the box.
It's a 2-on-1 for Arizona, shorthanded. There's a chance in front. I thought it might have gone 5-0 on Anderson. I don't know if it did. The puck's all the way in the corner, but there is a penalty probably against Utah. To me, it looked like it was number 20. It looked like Selman on the breakaway. It looked like he got it to go 5-0 on Anderson, but when the net came loose, I thought that was going to be a goal for Arizona. I don't know what it looked like for you,
sure,
Jacob,
and it's definitely, something you see is how the players react. If you don't know it's a goal, they know when it's a goal.
That's true, yeah.
So when you see they don't react like that, it's probably not a goal, but looks like we got a penalty on Utah, and each team's going to have a player in the penalty box here.
I guess it's going to be a tripping or some sort of hook on the breakaway there when you're chasing, not moving your feet, but it'll be 4-on-4 hockey once again. But Utah gets lucky there. That was a 2-on-1 for Arizona.
Interesting play there, just sending it down, but we're going to come right back to the same place.
Yeah, Utah has to realize they took a penalty, but still 4-on-4. Arizona they win the draw back towards them, but it was kicked the other way by Noonan, who makes a nice pass over to Michael. Michael tries to find Light, but a nice play off the back door there from Sam Myers, and the net comes off its moorings.
Yeah, just crashed into the goal there on the backside. You can see how that post came off, that left post. Utah going to switch out a couple players. Again, 4-2. Both teams with a penalty. Arizona ends just about 24 seconds before Utah, so they're gonna have a very short chance to maybe get a man on.
You hope that the puck's down in the Utah zone if you're Arizona, when those 16 seconds or whatever it is, 20 seconds come up. But back to that play where the Utah player ran into the goal. I've played hockey before. I know those goals are heavy, but I just looked it up now. Those are about 40 to 50 pounds. So running into that, now they are supposed to fail like that and come off their moorings as a safety feature, right? But anytime you run into it, it's going to hurt.
Sure. Landon Cusick in the box, just dying to get out there with his guys.
He's a gamer. I mean, he is one of these players. You're just talking to one of the coaching members of the women's team here at Utah, and he's like, man, Che's back tonight, and he like you said, he's like one of the best players on the ice whenever he's there, and he likes to just skate, and just if he could be out there all the time, he would be if he could. And I think gamer is the best word, because he just loves to be out there competing for his team. Whenever he's not in there, it hurts him, because he wants to be out there for his team, scoring goals and making plays. But dying to get out. He's still got a little bit of time left, 1:05, as Arizona's in the Utah zone. 4-on-4 still. Nice play and a good save by Anderson.
Wow, thought there was a chance there on that curl back end. Just couldn't convert. I wouldn't have been surprised if the Arizona players just jumped up with a goal. Obviously, that was just a little blocked off for us, but great chance there for Arizona. Nice play.
Yeah, trying to reach around that pad of Anderson, maybe on the backhand. But that comes off, the whistle blows. So there'll be about what looks to be 24 seconds and change. So Arizona will get that 24-second power play after Matthew Hull will come out of the box. So chance, I guess, if you're able to keep it down here, that is enough time to set something up and get a shot or two off. So you got to be careful if you're Utah, and you know what? Try and get the puck down to the Arizona side before those penalties expire.
You know, Patrick, for the viewers at home, Utes with 25 shots on goal. Is that an outrageous number? Is that not that much?
I'd say it's pretty average right now, you know, for this point in the game. We'll see games where, you know, it kind of depends on your opponent, but when you're playing a skilled, you know, these conference games, right, when you're playing two teams that are very like-minded, very similar in skill, I'd say, you know, 25 shots for the Utes, pretty on par. But to be out shooting Arizona by double, that is significant.
Oh, we got a fight right there. Carter just laying on top of Arizona's player. They were just wrestling down there. And he's going to head into the box. Referee wanting none of him.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. And an Arizona player will go as well. So it'll be offsetting. But Utah can't really, you know, I usually say, like, don't kind of lower yourself to that level and play chippy and play dirty. I know things are said and things happen. But if you let the other team do it, they're probably going to get called for it, right? Don't retaliate. You know, if there's a big hit after the whistle, I know it's the hockey mindset to stand up for your team, right? And you should to an extent. But don't, you know, be the first one to commit a play like that and be the reason you're going to the box like Arizona. There have been plenty of nights where Utah is the Arizona of tonight, where they're taking the bad penalties and they're behind, right? But play your game, right? There's no need to lower yourself to post-whistle activities.
You know, and as we see, Utah's mindset, and they know it, right? Arizona's got to do more than Utah in this period to level the game, or at least, you know, trying to go for it all and win it. And I think taking penalties, they know they shouldn't be taking penalties, but that was a physical play down there.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? Tensions are high, and, you know, emotions are also high in games like this. And, you know, this is a typical gritty WCHL conference matchup. You know, it's a Friday night. Both these teams excited to get out there and play. Arizona splitting with Utah on home ice. So, you know, obviously there's some bad blood there. You know, Arizona probably wanted to sweep the Utes, as you always want to sweep on your home ice. So, you know what? Coming in here, and like we said also, you know, Utah swept this team on home ice last time they were here. So Arizona, they want to prove themselves. They want to be back into it. So it's just gritty, down to the wire, gritty hockey. And you know what? Arizona gets one back. You never know what happens. We have a lot of hockey to be played, 15 minutes to go.
You know, Patrick, we see 3 Utes in the penalty box, but we have a 4-on-3. Why are there 3 Utes in the penalty box?
So 2 are probably in for actual penalties, as you can see up there, 22 and 11. Che has his penalty from earlier, and there's a huge hit, and that's going to be a penalty against Utah. But one player is in there for fighting at least. And oh my goodness, we have
that's Lowell.
Jesse Lowell. He's not moving at all. We hope he's okay. I didn't see the hit until kind of after it happened, but it's definitely a penalty against Utah. Might have been captain on captain there. I think Dix hit Lowell.
Looks like it.
And
wow,
he's not happy with it. He slams the penalty box door, but Lowell very, very slow to get up. We hope he's okay. He's up on his feet now.
And now we have more Utes in the penalty box than on the ice, it seems.
Yeah, but I think you got 2 in there for actual penalties you see up on the penalty board right now, and then 1's in there for some sort of fighting or roughing penalty for 5 or 10 minutes. That's not listed, just kind of one of those timeout penalties as you have for Arizona as well right now. But the referees are going to sort this out. I didn't see the hit, so I can't speak.
Its impact was booming, though.
Yeah, you could hear it, right. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a big hit. And, you know, I don't know if Dix is going to get tossed from this game. It looks like the discussion is over, so he's not going to get tossed from the game. He'll stay in, but he's probably going to be serving a 5 to 10 minute penalty. I guess we can look on the sheet once it updates and see what Dylan Dix was boxed for, but it was good to see Lowell get up and skate away from that. Happy to see that he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he wasn't moving for a bit there.
He was
and then
not, right.
Utah medical staff came out, and
He just kind of skated away.
now we're going to have another discussion with the referees. Looks like the Utah bench is talking to referee Larson.
Huh. They're still talking over something.
It looked like we were ready for play,
Yeah.
and then they reconvened.
Yeah, because they chatted over here in front of the scorer's table, and now they're chatting again.
Now we might be ready to go.
Looks like we are finally ready as we'll get the puck dropped, and Arizona wins the draw. They are on a 5-on-3 power play for an extended period of play. For extended period of time, I should say. One-time shot on the doorstep for Lowell, who's actually back out there after the big hit. And he just missed that. Same thing as you said before, shot it right in the middle of Anderson's pad when he had about a foot of space where he could have tucked it in for the goal.
That was an exquisite play from Arizona. Just Lowell just couldn't turn the stick enough. It just went right towards Anderson, but that has to go towards that right post.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great chance for the Wildcats, as good as any, to get that power play goal right away, but it's just off the doorstep. Now the referee's talking to Utah again. It's Morgan Feeney chatting with them.
This third period has had a lot of breaks in play in it for sure.
Yeah, and we're just about a quarter of the way in. I'm not sure what the conversation is. There was some chatter on the Utah bench as one of the trainers was kind of shouting, and then it was obviously nothing to do with the game, but now they're talking to the referees. This is when you wish you had them mic'd up, sort of situation. Throw a mic down there on the Utah bench or on a referee or something.
Now they're going to go over and head to Arizona. But this power play, whether it's the 5-on-3 or 5-on-4, right, is so critical for Arizona to get back in this. This chance is unreal for them right here.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you because it's a long 5-on-3, right? I take it back, actually. There's only 7 seconds left on it, but they had some chances on it. And then it's going to be a long 5-on-4 for about a minute and a half. So, like you said, if you want to come back and win this game, critical to come and score a goal on this power play earlier on here in the third period, so you give yourself more time to get that game-tying goal, assuming you keep Utah off the board. But they're talking to Chad Berman over there, and I don't know what the discussion is. There was discussion before this play, and the play happened. Now there's more discussion. I'm not sure if they're talking about the hit on Lowell. Looks like Chad Berman's, he's not upset. He's saying, okay, yeah, I understand sort of situation, but.
And we're headed back to the Utah bench.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on here.
Now it looks like the Utah coach is more in that same place of understanding instead of argument.
Yeah, I'm just interested to know what they're talking about because we had the play, some conversation, played conversation. So I don't know what's going on here. Referees would meet up and
referees look a little exhausted with the banter.
Arizona has the puck. They have a shot. The rebound's loose in front. They tuck it away, and they score. It's a power play goal for Brody Selman, and they are only trailing by 1 now here in the third period are the Wildcats.
We talked about that. They needed to get that goal.
They did.
More because of the score, but also you got to bring more life back to this team. With 1 second left on that Landis Cusick penalty, that's heartbreaking for the Utes right there.
It is, and you know what? It's a 5-on-3 goal, right? So that knocks off. That's actually critical for Arizona. That's huge because it knocks off the 5-on-3, not the 2-minute penalty. If that was a second later, that
Utes
takes away.
would have got another man back.
Right. So that's it. That's huge for Arizona right there to get one that quickly on the 5-on-3. I can't even speak to how critical they now have a 5-on-3. So there was a penalty that wasn't shown because we only have 2 slots on the board. So there was a 2-minute penalty not shown. Or I guess there's a new penalty. But either way, 5-on-3 again. Whistle blows, the net comes off its moorings. But yeah, so there was another penalty call. I'm not sure what it was. Let's see what Dylan Dix's was. Okay, so that was Dylan Dix's penalty was a 2-minute cross-checking penalty that just started.
Dylan Dix was the hit on Lowell.
Yes, yes. And I guess that penalty just starts now as we see it on the board. But
so basically what you're saying, Arizona saved themselves a power play.
yeah, they basically did. Or else that minute and 15 you see on the penalty right now, 22's penalty, that would have been knocked off the board if that happened 2 seconds later because Che would have come out. And they would have, so they saved themselves a power play. They're on the 5-on-3 for another minute. They've been on it for quite a while now. There's a play in front. And it's looking like they might tie this up. I mean, a couple of good chances there.
Yeah, another timely goal for Arizona. That first one, you had, I believe it was Lowell coming out of the box, or was Chioka coming out of the box, and then they had a breakaway. I think it was a 3-on-1. And then this one, they're 1 second away from saving a power play. So Arizona definitely has their moments.
Yeah.
And here we are with still 14 and a half minutes remaining and a couple of power plays under their belt. Anderson and the Utes are going to have to fight this off for sure.
Boy, doesn't it feel like we've already played, 15 minutes instead of 5 minutes? I mean, my goodness, it's been a little bit of a longer third period here, but I guess we're coming from the Utah point of view. We're kind of sweating it out right now. Arizona on the pounce. They have a shot. It's just wide. Still plenty of time on their 5-on-3. 40 seconds to go on that.
Wow, gets it out of the zone there.
And that's just a poor pass. They're going to reset. Bring it in. It's Timor. Over to Jesse Lowell. Timor having some trouble with it, and Michael takes it away for the Utes.
Nice clear there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he skates with it a little too long there. I'd like to see him dump it in. I mean, it's a little bit of a, takes some courage to kind of do that sort of thing because, you don't want to get burned. Usually you just dump it on a 5-on-3. Here comes Myers. He skates in, tries to tuck it in, and the net comes off its mooring again. As you can see, Arizona, the strategy is kind of skate in and go right at the net, and we've seen it a couple times already. That's where that penalty that Anderson drew when he got hit by one of the players. I mean, they're skating right in, and they're just kind of knocking the net off.
Yeah, and back to those shots on goal, right? It was 26-12, I believe, and here we are, 26-18, still in favor of the Utes. But that's 6 straight shots on goal, and definitely the gas is on for the Wildcats.
I mean, they know now. They got that important goal. The goal that you mentioned is critical. They got that critical goal, and it was critical, right? Now they're down 1 goal with plenty of penalty time to get another one. With only 3 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3, then it'll be about 30 seconds of 5-on-4 for Arizona, and that should end all the madness that was the penalties these last couple of minutes. But referee's talking again.
Right, and Evan Richards, he's going to come out in 3 seconds for the Utes. He looks ready to race back onto the ice. And then Captain Dix, he'll follow him 32 seconds. If the Utes can survive this, that'll be incredible.
It would be, and it'd be a huge momentum boost as Arizona has all of it right now. They have a shot. Good job by Will Josephson to screen Anderson there, but it was a good save regardless. The net comes off again. I feel like a broken record. I mean, that thing keeps popping off.
And that definitely shows how this has changed because we haven't really seen that as much as we have right here. But Arizona finding new momentum and getting to the net, right? Why is it coming off? Because Arizona's getting to the net.
Right, yeah. They're attacking hard. And now the 5-on-3 is over, so it's 5-on-4 Arizona for 26 seconds.
A little bit more manageable for Utah.
As now Arizona passes back and forth. They're trying to find that one last shot. They send it across the zone. It's deflected by the stick of Brickley, or Jackson,
That might be a trip. Seems as though he just fell down, but
Get past
Utes.
Oh my goodness, is it going to count? I don't think it's going to count. The net came off its moorings, but there wasn't a whistle. The shot goes 5-hole. That's a really bad play by the goaltender Bivolcic. I think it's going to count. The referees are talking about it. The net came off before the puck crossed the line.
Let's see. This is a huge call.
This is a massive call in this game. This is the biggest call of the game right here. That's dare I say, horrible error from Bivolcic. He can't contain the shot. It was just like the first goal.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a powerful shot. He just couldn't squeeze his legs to keep the puck from underneath him. And just why I said what I said is just to be clear for the folks listening and watching at home. The shot went 5-hole on Bivolcic, the goaltender for Arizona. It squeaked through just barely, but the net came off.
Almost instantaneously.
Right. The puck crossed the line, and the net came off. So technically the whistle blows, but the referees talked about it.
Both teams are acting as though that goal is going to count. Although Arizona's setting up like there's going to be a face-off over there. Utah is like, let's get this going.
Right, because as soon as you play, it's over. You can't take it back. They're talking to Chad Berman in the Arizona bench over there. He looks like he's not saying a word. He looks like he's not too happy with it. Maybe
our tell will be which coach is more upset.
Yes.
And it looks like we're going to have a face-off at center ice.
It's a goal. Yeah, it looks like it's going to count as a goal.
Shorthanded.
And yep, you're right. Shorthanded goal as there's 3 seconds left on the Dylan Dix penalty. And out he comes. Finally, Utah back to full strength.
Wow, we've had some unreal momentum shifts.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Arizona gets one back, then Utah takes a 2-goal lead once again. And man, I hate to, like you say, you can never really blame a goal on one player, right? Because, why was the shot able to happen in the first place? But there are 2 goals that goaltender Nolan Bivolcic really would like back. And you know what? It's a 2-goal difference in the game right now. I mean, he gives up a pretty weak one in the first period, and right there, if you squeeze the legs a little bit tighter, that puck never gets through on just a basic shot. He's beating himself up about it, and it'd be interesting to see tomorrow night if he gets the start. It's a 2-on-1 for Utah. They skated in. One-time shot. It goes 5-hole, but it was deflected by the pads when it went 5-hole through Bivolcic and went wide.
Mikkel, if he puts that on goal, this might be a 3-goal lead.
Yes, yeah. I mean, what a chance there for Utah. And that probably would have been the nail in the coffin. I mean, 2 goals with 11 and a half minutes to go, that's manageable. You can do that. Crazier things have happened. I mean, we saw in the M2 game, San Jose State, they were down 3-0, and they came back, and there was 3 quick goals in that game. I mean, it's college hockey. Anything could happen. So Utes have to keep their foot on the gas pedal and finish off the Wildcats. They can't do it by...
Oh, what a pass there.
A shot, good save by Bivolcic. They can't just do it by resting on their laurels here. They need to continue. 11 minutes to go. It feels like we've played 4 periods in this period. It's been such a long period of play, but a lot of action.
So out of all those penalties, all that pandemonium, we got 1 goal apiece.
Yep, yeah. Which is pretty good. I mean, if you're the power play units for both those 2 teams, right? You want to convert, although I guess one of those comes shorthanded for Utah. So,
sure.
If you're Arizona, you don't want that to happen. But I'm surprised. I mean, 2 pretty weak ones given up by Bivolcic. And, the way this game's been going, it's a 2-goal deficit. That's, like, I guess, the difference right now.
Another one whipped in there. Still not controlled, though.
Yeah, right.
That is whipped way beyond the blue line and still not controlled.
That puck slides out of the zone. It'll be Fisher here for Arizona. Skates it in after he's got Pond on his back, kind of hacking at the puck. Coast in the corner. Now it's the Utes. Noonan across the blue line, has a shot. Good save, Pavolcic. Whoa.
Someone lost the stick.
I don't know whose stick is it. Looks like it's an Arizona stick. So
Yeah, that's Fisher's stick just went flying.
yeah, I mean, quite literally, it just flew right up in the air. I'm surprised referees. I mean, it's probably cause for a Utah penalty there, but so Gephardt. Arizona here halfway through the third period chasing 2 goals. And what a wild third period it's been. They were only chasing 1 just moments ago. They break it out.
Big hit there.
Yeah, nice by Pond. I mean, just laying the body on 24 in blue, Fritz. Arizona playing it out. Myers skating it in. Has some room. What a poke check there from Anderson. Can't tell you how important it is to have an active stick as a goaltender, and right there you see it. There's a shot through traffic, and it deflects wide. Light plays it backwards for Utah towards Dix, who just opts to flip it all the way out. Icing's already waved off, and the whistle blows. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure what happened behind the play, but Anderson's down on the ice. I was watching the play, but Anderson's down on the ice.
Utah cleared that, but there wasn't going to be icing, and then we heard a whistle and
looked back, and Anderson's on the ground, right?
Yeah. But it looks like Dix is going to go into the penalty box for Utah.
And the net's off. I mean, I don't know how that happened either, but that's what we get for watching the play, huh? We don't get to say what happened over there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put it together. If the Utah goalie's on the ground, we got a Utah player headed to the box.
Yeah. I was thinking it would have been Arizona just because, Anderson looked like he was out cold there. And the net was off. I wonder what happened. Either way, we have a face-off in the Utah zone. Utah back to the box. They're kind of starting to get up there in the penalty minutes tonight. Dixon there for the second time at least. And once again, a big chance for Arizona to get within 1 as they did earlier. They were successful on the power play earlier, so we'll see. As they control possession now, it's Selman, a point pass that's wide off of the stick of Chioka. Chioka at the point again. Looks like he wants to wind up, but he's going to pass it across the point to Timor. Myers at the goal line backs up.
Nice stick work from Arizona. There's a broken stick.
Yeah, that was a Utah defender getting passed over the stick from Ethan Light. Very smart play by him. It was just a shot. Good save by Anderson. You'd rather have a forward without a stick than a defender on a penalty kill, as it looked like Kenyon Carter's stick just kind of broke when he looked to go for a poke check. And then Ethan Light hands him his stick as he's now playing without a stick.
And the debris is just scattered behind the goal.
It is, and they'll get a chance to clear it off now, and Arizona won't be able to catch a Utah player without a stick. 55 seconds to go in the Arizona power play.
Got a platoon swap for each team. Just regroup, fresh legs. Arizona needs this power play to result in the goal.
And I've mentioned it before in broadcast, but from what I've heard from opposing players, the altitude doesn't affect you until you're deep into the game. When your endurance is kind of wearing thin, that's when you want to be making your changes at the end of the game. You want to make sure you have fresh legs out, and especially if you're Arizona. I mean, you're chasing 2 goals. You want, fresh guys out there at all times. But not to say that it's the altitude, but I have heard that, at the beginning of the game, you're fine, you're amped up, but the later it goes, the more you feel it.
Arizona stays in the zone. That was crucial.
just barely kept it in. You're right. They're going to get a chance to set it up again and not waste time regrouping. With just under 30 seconds to go on this power play. Nice block from the shin guard of Music. He can't quite get it out, though. Chasing after it is Shetland. High slot pass. They shoot, and it's wide. It was deflected, it looked like. Hit the glass after that. Nice pass to the zone. They go for a one-time shot, but it's wide off the stick of Tyler Shetland. Shetland once again wrists it. Good save. Rebound. Good save by Anderson.
To kill the penalty. Anderson snatches it out of the air. Utah clear for now. 6:30 left. Each team just swapping out entire lines.
That's a big save there from Anderson. I mean, he had to go basically from the opposite side of the net, just push off as fast as he can. And as he's moving, he makes that save. Like you say, he snags it out of the air. And like you said, for now, Utah is safe with their 2-goal lead as they cleared all the way out. Anderson out to play it.
Utes have numbers here if they want it. There it is.
Yep. There's a shot, good save, and a good call there by Jacob. I mean, they were setting that up from way back in their zone looking for that stretch pass. Instead of letting your guys skate with it, let the puck do the work and, go length of the ice for you.
Here we go again.
Brickley into the zone, has a shot, good save by Bivolcic. And Utah bench wants a penalty. Here comes Arminen, he slaps one, and it's a glove save by Bivolcic, who couldn't quite actually glove it. It just hit his glove and popped back out. Myers a shot, nice block from Brickley. And here comes Ethan Light the other way. It's Holback with him playing some defense. He blocks it there with the shin guard. And now it'll be Overland for Arizona. Pass over to Myers. It goes all the way in.
Patrick, we're just past 10 p.m. and we got everyone sticking around to see the end of this one.
They are. I mean, it's a close game. Kind of edge of your seat action. As they skated in, there's a shot, good save by Bivolcic. And, the more and more I'm watching him play, it's his rebound control is just looking off right now. As there's a shot, good save by Anderson. It's like, there you see right there, Anderson kind of hunches over to make sure that puck bounces right in front of him, where Bivolcic is kind of hitting him and popping right back off. His glove, his chest protector. And, I think Bivolcic would say himself he'd like to have a better game than he's having right now.
Do you think that rebounding skill can be attributed to the score, right? I mean, Anderson has a 2-goal lead, and he just wants to secure it.
Right.
But Bivolcic, he's given up 5 goals. 2 have been a little sketchy.
Right.
Do you think that's because his performance today and where these teams are headed in this next 5 minutes?
Well, I think as a goaltender, confidence is most goaltenders can probably speak to it. Confidence is one of the biggest things in goaltending. You need to be confident in yourself and have the right mindset. It's a tough job, right? I mean, a lot of people say, who wants to be that crazy human that stands in front of 80, 90, 100-mile-an-hour shots from a rubber puck that basically feels like a bullet at that speed? There's a lot of pressure on you, right? And like you say, the mindset's a little bit different. Oh, there's a shot. Oh, my goodness, at the goal line. It doesn't go in. The referee waves it off. And the net's off its moorings. And Arizona's celebrating. I'm not sure what's going on. The referee's shouting. He's pointing, not as if it's a goal, but as if the goal has been knocked off.
It looks like Anderson is currently sitting on the puck. That looks like what he's doing right now. Arizona wants a goal. Utah, let's see what Anderson does here if he has. We got to locate the puck here. Our cam view shows the puck
well outside.
In the crease.
Yeah.
But we do have a penalty, it seems like.
Yeah, on Anderson. 30 in white would be Landon Anderson. I did see the referee make a roughing signal. I didn't see who was called for it, but it might be Anderson with the roughing call
So, Patrick, what does that mean when a goalie gets a penalty?
So the goalie will typically, it depends on the penalty, but if it's a minor, he'll get to stay out there. He obviously, a goalie can't skate back out after that, so someone will have to serve for him. Most of the time, someone serves for the goalie, and most of the time, when you see a penalty for a goaltender, it's delay of game. Whether it's coming out of the trapezoid, which we don't have in this rink, but NHL rinks have a trapezoid behind the net. If they go outside of it, it's delay of game. Or if they accidentally play a puck off the glass, or they're trying to play a puck off the glass and they send it out of play, that's delay of game. I mean, in the NHL, you never see goalies take roughing calls. I mean, this is college hockey. There's emotion involved. Anderson has been known to, get a little emotional at some times and, play for his team and play really hard and take penalties. But I think in this case, what it means is he's going to stay out there, and Utah will opt to send a player to serve it, which looks to be Gibney.
So this just means this is a pretty typical power play then.
Yep, it's just a 2-minute minor, 5-on-4 power play for Arizona, but just someone else is in the box for Anderson. So it's Gibney for Utah, even though the scoreboard reads 30. Number 30 is the penalty, but Arizona once again, I feel like I've said it a couple times already, another chance for them to come back and get one back here. 4 minutes to go. There's a shot. It was deflected off the side of the net. As Myers has it, good defense from Jackson, and he's going to send it the opposite way on the far side. Timor does a good job keeping it in before he's pushed out of the zone. Myers drops it off, and a nice deflection by the stick of a Ute will cause the puck to go all the way down the opposite way. Selman skates it in, peels back, shakes off a defender.
Right in front.
Up to the point for Chioka, skates backwards with it. Couple of passes thrown around here as there's a shot from Myers. It's bouncing around, and Anderson will cover it up.
Arizona hasn't put on a firm shot in this power play. They've had those scrappy passes. They've whiffed on a couple passes. They're still looking for that hard slap shot or one-timer just to get to him.
Yeah, right. They're just kind of trying to set something up rather than just take what they can. And you don't want to necessarily play desperate because that's when mistakes happen. But you got to start shooting the puck at some point when you're down 2 with 3 minutes to go. Overland in the near side corner sends it over to Shetland, who then rings it around to the opposite side. Puck at the point. Arizona throwing it back and forth. They have a shot. It's blocked by Ethan Light, and it's shot all the way.
It's going to leave the zone.
Out and around. Yeah, out of the zone, forcing Arizona to regroup. 30 seconds to go on their power play.
Again, no firm shot. And the Utes might have a chance here.
Might have some numbers as it's Ethan Light. Arizona trying to get back. There's a shot. Hits the post. He did beat Bivolcic there with his quickness on that wrister, but hits the post and stays out.
And they're going to kill the penalty.
In fact, they will, and Gibney ready to come out of the box. Arizona skates it in. 2 minutes to go. Wonder if they're going to pull Bivolcic for the extra attacker. He's still in net.
Now would be the time.
It would be. Get that man advantage and see what you can do.
They would have done it right now.
I agree. I think it's probably off the table at this point. I even think he might have would have done it on the power play. Looks like it's a hand pass against Utah, or maybe I believe it's just a hand pass against Utah. Or no, it's a penalty.
It's going to be Brickley.
Roughing.
All right. Another penalty for Utah in this third period. Luckily for them, it hasn't really been too disastrous for them.
Right, it hasn't really bitten them the way it's bitten Arizona. And now ironically enough, you might have the same amount of penalties as Arizona. I'm trying to look at the penalty sheet here. A lot of interlocking U's this third period on that penalty sheet. As Arizona or Utah will call their timeout. Let's see. So it looks like Utah has 12 penalties and Arizona has 9. So Utah has more penalties than Arizona. When we were talking about the story for Arizona was penalties. But you know what? I think that's still a point you can drive home. It's penalties at the opportune time, right? Utah is lucky that Arizona really hasn't, like we said, bitten them on these chances they've taken. But Utah 12 penalties for 24 minutes. Arizona 9 for 18.
You know, generally these penalties don't mean anything unless the team up a man can finish.
Right.
So what we have seen this period is Utah has been penalized a ton, but it hasn't really paid off for Arizona.
Right.
So what does that mean at the end of the day? Nothing.
Absolutely. It just means, at least for Arizona, you're frustrated, right? You see Utah, they take advantage, you know, to put themselves up. When Arizona had these penalties in the second period, Arizona has had plenty of chances, as Utah's gone to the box plenty of times this period, but they're unable to convert. And when they do, Utah's right there to answer, which is huge. I mean, that is what separates good hockey teams from great hockey teams, is the teams that have an answer, right? When you go down or when you're faced with adversity, it sounds cliche, but if you have an answer, whether that's a change in, you know, strategy, a change in momentum, whatever it may be, having that answer is what makes a team great. And I'm not necessarily saying this Utah team is great or the best team in the league, but tonight they're looking very good. They're playing their game, and they're outplaying Arizona just purely.
Yeah, and for these last 55 seconds, Arizona's going to be up a man, but it seems like they can't even get their offense organized.
Well, they find a wide open man there, just barely. Yeah, but again, it's not like they were organized. They just find the wide open man there pretty quickly. But we know this Arizona team is good. This is a team that contends year to year in this conference and has won multiple championships in this conference and has gone and done great things in the ACHA tournament. Tomorrow night, you better bet that they're going to bring their A game against this Utah team because, you know, barring anything unforeseen here in these next 47 seconds, Utah's going to win this game, and they're going to be frustrated after coming in and playing, you know, good hockey for the most part, but, you know, taking too many penalties and playing, you know. I guess all I'm trying to say is tomorrow night's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And, you know, we talked about, it seemed like shots on goal comparison, Utah 26, Arizona 12. Now we look at it, Utah 32, Arizona 29. That went from a 14 shot on goal difference to just 3. So definitely it seems like the Utes, like you said, barring some unforeseen circumstances, will pull this one out. But
I don't think it's by luck, though, right? I think that's what we're trying to say is that, you know, they thoroughly outplayed this Arizona team. And, you know, while they did outplay them, you know, you got to also be fair and say, hey, Arizona also wasn't maybe playing their game tonight. And, you know, maybe there's an extra power play they convert under. Maybe, you know, Bivolcic doesn't make a couple errors, but he's on the bench now. They pull Bivolcic, and now it looks like I'm kind of surprised because, like, when you said, Jacob, you know, they would have done it by now, I thought the same thing. Now all of a sudden there's not much time left. You could have had this earlier on. But maybe that's Chad Berman saying, I know we can't really keep the puck in here for an extended period of time.
And it seemed like Arizona kind of got bailed out by the penalty, too.
To go 2-man up, yeah, that's a good point. As they backhand it all the way down, but it's wide. Oh, my goodness. Arminen gets cross-checked right in the face. And Shioka might get tossed. They're sending him to the box right away. I mean, Arminen, I was just watching behind the play. He got cross-checked directly into the face. That's a pretty dirty penalty to take if you're Arizona. Wow.
is pretty upset in the box.
He is.
Whether that's on the result of tonight or just with himself.
We've seen him in the box quite 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
right?
Looks like he'll stay, but the Utes.
It'll be a double minor.
That's, yeah.
4-minute penalty.
Seems like the nail in the coffin on this one.
Yes. And the clock's going to wind down here. Utah will get a big win over Arizona. And we'll take a 2-1 series lead in the season series with a chance to win it tomorrow night and get key wins down the stretch here for the ACHA playoffs. The horn sounds and the Utes skate their way to a 5-3 victory against U of A.
Really nice performance from Utah, both offensively and defensively. You know, Arizona really put it on themselves with the penalties in the second period that were disastrous.
Yes.
And Utah paid it off. But here in the third period, kind of the inverse, but Arizona didn't pay it off. So the Utes will come out this evening with a 5-3 victory and get a nice win.
A very nice win indeed. I mean, that's a very skilled hockey team you just beat. And they're going to go home unhappy tonight. But the Utah fans and the Utah players going home happy tonight. As the players salute the fans, we want to thank all of you for watching this evening and tuning into the broadcast as Utah wins an exciting game. But we're back here tomorrow night. We have M2 hockey against San Jose State at 4:30 and M1 hockey against Arizona at 7:30. Same slate tomorrow for round 2 in Salt Lake City at the SLC Sports Complex. But that's all the time we have left on the broadcast this evening. We thank you for tuning in. For Jacob Sioka, for Patrick McGann, we thank you for tuning in to the Utah hockey broadcast. We'll see you tomorrow night for more hockey. Tonight, it's Utah 5, Arizona 3. They skate their way to a win, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good evening, folks.